Hi again. For those who are new and just joining this journey, I'm Youssef, and last week I made the decision to quit my job and go traveling in Southeast Asia for 6 months. But before we really get there, the adventure will actually start in Africa. Today I'll be sharing our entire 6-month backpacking route, why we chose the destination we go into, how long we'll be spending in each one, and a few tips around budget, weather and visas. So after months of research, reading different travel blogs, watching other travelers' videos on YouTube, we finally have the route for our 6 months adventure. I'm currently based in Barcelona, Spain, but our first stop is actually going to be Tanzania before we head to Asia. We wanted to start our trip somewhere completely different, and honestly, what a better place than Tanzania. We'll spend a few days exploring Zanzibar, enjoy the local food, culture, the beaches, a couple of hikes probably here and there, before we head to Kigoma, which is a city in the west side of Tanzania, where we'll be spending Christmas and New Year's Eve with our family there. From there, we'll fly to Thailand, where the Southeast Asia part of our journey begins. The plan is to start in Bangkok and then make our way down to the south of the country around Khao Sok National Park, Koh Tao, that kind of area, and then start making our way up north to Chiang Mai, Pai, and basically the northern side of Thailand before we cross into Laos. After Laos, we'll head south into Cambodia, and then we'll be crossing from Cambodia into the southern part of Vietnam, traveling all the way up through the country to the Sapa region. Next up, the Philippines, where we'll go island hopping from the eastern part of the country in the Visayas into Palawan. After that, we have two options. Depending on price and availability, we will either be flying to Borneo and explore the Malaysian side of the island. If there are not many options, we will head to explore the Malaysian peninsula before we continue to Indonesia, starting with Bali, then spending most of our time in Lombok and exploring nearby islands like Nusa, Flores, Komodo Islands, etc. The route we plan is just to give us a rough idea of the journey we'll be taking, and the time per country will probably have to be adjusted depending on different factors. But roughly we'll be spending 3 weeks in Tanzania, 1 month in Thailand, 1 month between Laos and Cambodia, 1 month in Vietnam, 1 month in the Philippines, and about 2 months between Borneo/Malaysia and Indonesia. Again, we'll try and stay flexible and adjust based on weather, local recommendations, and people that we meet along the way. The order we chose is mainly based on weather and slightly avoiding some areas where it's peak season. Starting in Tanzania in December means we get warm, dry weather before heading to Southeast Asia. January in Thailand is unfortunately high season, but it's also the best time to visit the country. It's perfect for the beaches in the south of the country, and it's slightly more cooler in the north, which will be less busy in comparison. By the time we move north into Laos and Vietnam, we'll have avoided the smoky season, which normally happens around February and March. Once we reach the Philippines, Malaysia and Indonesia, we'll be in the dry season. This way we'll avoid rain and stormy weathers. Around April, May and June, it's ideal for island hopping, diving and exploring these countries. We are being flexible, as parts of Thailand, Laos, Vietnam might be slightly cooler and potentially a bit rainy, but generally we'll be chasing the good weather and fewer crowds. Our goal is to keep it simple, local and sustainable. We're aiming for around 1,000 euros per month, which is roughly around $1,200, and this will be accommodation, food, transport and activities. For Laos and Cambodia, we are budgeting around 1,000 euros in total for both countries combined. In upcoming videos, I'll be sharing exactly how we plan to manage that, sharing spending categories, money saving tips, the apps and tools we're using to track everything. So a quick overview regarding visa requirements based on my nationality as a Moroccan national and my partner who's Irish, but please make sure you double check what's needed for your own nationality before traveling. For Tanzania, an e-visa is recommended, however you can get a visa on arrival, and from what I could see in their website, most countries are eligible for either, and normally is 90 days. For Thailand, there is a free visa for 60 days for both Moroccan and Irish nationals, with the option to extend it for an extra 30 days if needed. For Laos and Cambodia, there is a 30-day e-visa. For Vietnam, there is a 90-day e-visa. For Philippines and Malaysia, there is a free visa. For the Philippines, it's 30 days and Malaysia is 90 days. I think most of the countries are also eligible, but just double check on their website. I'm sure you can find all the information there. For Indonesia, there is a visa on arrival, which is valid for 30 days. Most nationals should be eligible for it. And then if you want, you can extend it for an extra 30 days. Just bear in mind that some of these countries also require a travel registration form before arrival. So I'll have these details shared with you in the video's description. Even though we have a roughly planned route, we want to keep things as flexible as possible because honestly, that's what travel is all about. Plans might change depending on weather, people that we meet, opportunities that might come our way, and that's just part of the adventure. So now that you know the countries that we'll be visiting, will you add or skip any of them? And which ones are you most excited about to see in this journey? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and hit the notification bell, because next week I'll be sharing the breakdown of our budget and the planning strategy and how we're making the 6-month trip happen on a backpacking budget.